What's up, guys? This is Bulba Games here with another news story of the week. We have a few things that happened. One of them was, and I'm only going to cover this one briefly, is apparently 1,000 of Hillary Clinton's emails were released to the general public, I guess, on her site, her homemade site or some homebrew server. And a lot of them were apparently from what the FBI is saying, the State Department saying, is that a lot of them were mishandled. 125 of them were considered classified information, and as of right now, the FBI is conducting an investigation as to whether or not some of the classified information, was mishandled or anything like that. It'll be interesting to see what comes of this. I'm not saying she committed treason or anything like that. Nothing like that. Like a lot of people are saying that she committed treason, and that it's like whatever the case may be. All I know is that thousands of her emails, and like 125 of them are considered classified. However the case may be. I guess I'll continue on. Whatever. Moving on to something else. Or more than 225,000 Apple iPhone accounts were hacked. Keep calm. Don't look at your iPhone and freak out. It probably wasn't you at this point if you're listening to this. But 225,000 of them were hacked, and what they were hacked is they were the jailbroken ones. Like what jailbreaking an iPhone means is that you basically allow access to the other parts of the iPhone that necessarily aren't allowed because of safety reasons and whatnot. It allows you to download apps that aren't necessarily part of the iPhone apps or anything like that. Basically, it gives you more access to the phone. It's actually not illegal to do it, and there's probably lots of YouTube videos out there that can probably instruct you on how to do this. It's not suggested because of reasons like this, because then you get a piece of malware or something like that that goes out and targets those kinds of phones, and it makes it easier for that malware to get to those phones and actually get the information off of them. Jailbreaking your phone may give you a lot of access to a lot of other stuff, but at the same time, it makes you vulnerable to certain attacks. And so, my suggestion to anybody who's considering jailbreaking their phone after this incident with the 225,000 iPhone accounts being hacked, I would say be careful. Cyber warfare is real, and hackers are just out there to, some of them are out there to cause the world a bunch of pain for no reason whatsoever, and people paying for no reason whatsoever, because I guess they don't have to face against that person in face-to-face or anything like that, or deal with the consequences necessarily. But a lot of the hackers, what they did is they uploaded software that lets other people get iTunes for free, from using the victims' accounts and whatnot. For the 225,000 people, there's probably a lot of information that a lot of those people are able to get now, and apps for free and other stuff like that they weren't able to get before, and it's a bit of software that they're getting. Whatever the case may be, that's messed up. But cool, whatever. Basically, don't jailbreak your phone. All I gotta say. Not worth it, in my opinion. Next thing, moving on, we have apparently Notch, who's the creator of Minecraft. According to the article that I'm reading, it says he's unhappy about his sudden wealth, and they got a lot of things backing it up, saying about his tweets and whatnot. Some of the things he was saying is that the problem of getting everything you want, is you run out of reasons trying to get anything or whatnot, and he, other reasons like that, stuff like that. Basically, what he's trying to say, really summed up, is that now he's got all this money and he doesn't really know what to do with it or what else to go out and do or anything like that. He's got a lot of time on his hands. He's free to do whatever he wants. I mean, $2.5 billion. He's not really going to spend that at any real given point. Yeah, you're not going to be able to spend that in one lifetime. It would be really, you would have to dedicate yourself to spending all that money in one lifetime. Because you would just end up running out of things to buy. I mean, you can buy a house for $70 million, $70 million, and not even really scratch the surface of it, because $1 billion is over hundreds of millions of dollars. That's like a lot. And so you're really just not gonna. It's really hard to spend all that money. So yeah, I can see what he says there is like everything and anything now is all he's got to do is throw enough money at it and it'll fix itself. But yeah, I mean looking at it is like he's suffering from that. He's saying like he's dealing with like a little bit of depression, but I mean that was one day. Literally looking at some of the tweets that were going on, a lot of them were in the span of a few minutes on the same day. Like early in the morning on the same day. Yeah, just one literally after the other pretty much. And then it turns around to the next day. It's like afterwards a bunch of people were like giving him a bunch of support saying, hey, it's understandable, it happens, I had major success before, this kind of stuff just passes, and other things like that. He's not by any means regretting selling his company to Microsoft, and I don't blame him for that, because now he doesn't necessarily have to worry about it. Like, I mean, he's able to, it's like, as big as Minecraft was getting, it was needed for a bigger team, and I'm not saying he couldn't have handled it, but I mean, in the end, that was probably the smarter thing to do so that he wouldn't have to deal with the stress of doing that. So he's not regretting that by any means, and I don't blame him. It cracks me up too because the next day or a couple days later, you can read about his tweet about how he's saying, "I'm sitting here reading my articles about the articles that are about my depression because I had a bad day and vented, and I'm sitting here reading them, but I'm having a nice day today." And there you go. It just shows you how quickly this is something like that can change. And when you're somebody that's like up there in social media and you post something like that and you post consistently like that, people look at that and then they're all freaking out thinking you're depressed and whatnot. But really, in all honesty, he's doing fine. It just he had a bad day. That's all. And we all have bad days. We're all entitled to bad days. And he had a bad day, and all of a sudden, everyone was like, oh, he's depressed, and he's regretting, nah, ain't got nothing to do with that. Cool thing was, there was a lot of people offered to go hang out with him. Said, if you need friends, or you need somebody you want to legitimately hang out with, I'm here for you. Wouldn't make much of a difference, in my opinion. But, I mean, if I'd hang out with Notch. Definitely, and I probably would have done the same thing if I had seen these tweets or caught these tweets. I probably would have said the same thing. Probably would have been like, "Yo, I'm an average Joe. If you want to hang out with an average Joe and not a billionaire, I'm here. I'll hang out." But that's the thing, is like you got that situation going on, and he's you had a lot of people backing him up, a lot of people giving that friendly little it'll be all good type deal, and that was pretty cool. That's a good sign of humanity right there. People actually caring at least enough about another human being to say, hey, if you're not feeling up to we're here for you, is basically what they were saying. All in all, they were saying we're here for you, and that's pretty legit. Anyways, guys, that's all I got for you today. So yeah, just a quick recap. Thousands of emails. 125 of them might be classified, might not be. Take a look at it. Like I said, I'm going to post a link in the description for all these articles and whatnot. You can take a look at them, dive deeper into them, develop your own opinion of them. I highly suggest always doing that if any of these interest you. More than 225 Apple iPhones hacked. Yet again, jailbroken phones. And apparently Notch was having a bad day. And then people were thinking he was depressed when he was just having a bad day. That's all it was. Anyways, guys, like I said, that's it. That's all I got for you. See you guys in the next